I think the similarity really stands with the perseverance that we've kind of come through together, and how we all went through a struggle and were able to come out on the side of strength and empowerment. Um, and at the same time, it's difficult when there are so many boundaries that make that so much more challenging to do. So being aware to put ourselves in other people's shoes and really understanding that we have to be in that place of understanding and empathy, um, because we are also raising a generation that hopefully have insight and are able to connect and unite with one another, which I think is really important.
Yeah, and I thought that Emma and my story were similar in the sense that it seems as though institutions are a lot more rigid than they need to be. And it's incredibly difficult to make even minor incremental changes so that they're more accommodating to the diversity of people who interact with them. But when we're trusting these institutions with such a big part of our lives, whether it be school, whether it be work, whether it be medicine, housing, they're all so important. And I think that there has to be more room for acceptance and for understanding. And that was something that struck a chord with me when I heard your story.
I think also, to me, the obvious thing is with all of our stories, we all went through some sort of emotional stress, um, and we all talked about our own processes of what happened between after the situation and by the end of your story, that there were things that had to be done, like whether I was working with someone else or having a support system or a team that helped you, that got you to the place that you are now, so that it wasn't a just on your own kind of thing. So yeah, I recognized that was a big similarity with all of us.
And I think like that's where learning to unite together is so important, and allowing the process to be as a whole instead of it being so directed on one side, and everyone to be heard, because I think that it's pressuring and heavy, and it seems like it's so hard to do on your own. And I think that each one of us were able to do a little piece of that on our own and to be able to stand up. And I think that that's one of the hardest things for each of one of us to be able to have done, because we didn't have maybe the support that we wanted. And that's why we're here today speaking up and saying, like, this is how we are able to move past that.
And I thought that listening was also such a key component because I think many people are good natured and that they want to help, but we have to listen in order to be able, and it sounds basic as I say it, but we have to listen to be able to understand. And we have to understand before we can try to be good allies. And so I learned so much from each of your stories, and I feel lucky for having done so. I think that it's really important, each of the issues that you've highlighted, and I'm really thankful that you've shared them.
Yeah, I think what I've seen today of us all being able to share our different stories, yes, we had the similarities, but also being able to see the differences. And I like that I've been given insight that I like didn't really have before, by hearing your stories, and it starts the conversation, right? So I definitely gained that from hearing all of your stories today.